Hello everyone, Robert Rambles here, and welcome back to World of Warcraft Dragonflight and our human mage. Thank you guys for clicking on the video and joining me here today. I do appreciate you. We are going to pick up right where we left off. We're going to make our way back over here, I think. Maybe we'll go further. Maybe we'll go all the way out to the east. And by east, I do mean west. There's likely a very easy way up to that bridge that I just never see, and therefore we end up climbing the hill. I think we can get up this. No, maybe not quite. I was going to say they made the hill climbable enough. There we go. They even put like these little switchbacks, sort of. Well, there we go, that worked. And what did we find up here? An outpost. There's an elite guy here. This must be the Horde camp. Yeah, we don't necessarily want to be up on the Horde camp. Let's skirt around. We could stop and turn in the breadcrumbs just in case they send us out in a similar direction. Might be a good idea. You're not in here, but luckily you have a back door.
Welcome to Fizz Springs Resort. Hope to see you again soon.
Alright, so that was just the turn in. Okay, good. Looks like a rare over here. Let's go check it out. Alright, we got a ring, item level 46. Let's take a look. We don't have any rings, so yes, it's going to be an upgrade over having nothing. Very nice. Okay, so we'll have to hunt rares a little bit, because those kinds of items could be really useful to us. Could give us quite a little bit of a power boost, right? Alright, we need to find 4 V300 cereal plates off the robots here. This is a really cool looking area. I actually like this.
Warning! Intruders alert! Intruders alert!
We pulled an ad. Let's freeze him in place. There's another rare up here. P4N7 3R4. That probably says something. I can't read that, but it probably says something. I can't get line of sight from here, but I bet I can go around to the backside. Oh, we're pulling everybody. We don't have any AoEs. Except, well, Frost Orb is probably a bit of an AoE, I guess, isn't it? Yeah, we could easily die here, I feel like. First death of our hardcore run. No, just kidding. Just kidding. It's not a hardcore run. Alright, we got one of them down. He turned non-aggressive and ran away, and I am actually completely fine with that. Let's make some mage cookies. Oh, we made a different type of cookie this time around. It must have leveled up with us. There we go. Oh, they all kind of do the same thing though. Restores 100% of both, over 20 seconds. So it doesn't really matter, I guess, at now what rank it is. We could try actually clearing our way back so that we're not pulling ads. We could try it like that. I kind of want to just clear this guy out. Because I feel like we're going to incidentally aggro him like we did last time at some point. I'm assuming we don't want to stand in that. I like how it only uses the icicles that it needs to kill the enemy, so if the enemy dies, it doesn't just fire all of them off and like you lose all of them. Who do we get? Okay. Well, this is interesting. This is what we have to do to get line of sight on this guy. I wonder if he's gonna have like a pounce that can like knock us off. It's a Voltron cat, right? We did not interrupt that flame jet attack. There's a nice disorient. Oh, and he killed us. Man, just from the disorient? F. I don't know what else to say. At least we're close. At least we're close. So, we're gonna try to fight him again. I'm thinking maybe I just jump off of that platform, we fight him down below somewhere, and I can kite him and do the typical mage stuff that isn't just like sitting there and tanking him with my face. We'll see if that works. So like, one of the things that people say the most about retail, they say retail is easier than classic. I don't think it's true. I don't think that's true. Hasn't been my experience. I think I die more in retail. And I don't think it's because I play very recklessly. So I'm going to blast this guy with something, and we're going to go... Where do we want to go after that? Maybe I just bet... I don't want to be near this thing, do I? Let's see. Let's blast him. And let's pull him over here. Oh, that was not where we needed to be. Maybe a little bit more this way. Okay. There we go. We need to be able to freeze him. Oh, he's leaping right out of that. He does not give any F's about that. At least we can move out of the flame jet now. I think that's pretty helpful. Yeah, that was much better. I don't know why I was compelled to fight him up top. It looked cool to be up there, I guess. Obviously, though, not the way to do it. Oh, this would be good if we were actually doing this. It could be very good. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, except like maybe we follow behind it while it's doing that, but yeah. Let's tap that more often, shall we? Oh, dang, that thing messed us up. Ouch. How rude. So yeah, they don't want you to stand in those. There's a big consequence. It's called almost getting killed. And then if you're fighting anything at the time, that thing that you're fighting is probably gonna end up killing you. We need to buff up. Because we died, so... I'm not... Oh, there we go. I minimized it. Because you can do that now. Okay, so we need to hit this a couple more times. And once we hit it, I realize we can't hit it again till it's gone. Okay, this is not the best situation for us to be in. Funny, I remember when we leveled the Shaman through Battle for Azeroth content, I always felt really weak on the Shaman for like a long time. I don't know if that feeling ever totally went away from me. Let's point it this way. Maybe we go not towards the beacon things. No, it's heading right back. Maybe it has a certain path that it has to follow. Not really sure. Okay, that is all complete. Let's mount up and we'll head back and turn these in. Alright, so he has nothing else for us right now, but maybe we'll end up working with him again to find out where his fellow gnomes went. Okay, what is next? We have something all the way over here. Let's head that way. We have a rare here. Okay, right here on top of this hill. Well, that got us nowhere. That's death number 2. We're gonna try him again. This time we're just not gonna move around. We're gonna face tank him. Because the problem there was mainly that we just pulled a bunch of ads. Which was fun and exciting, but yeah, let's just not do that this time. That wasn't really what I wanted either, having trouble with that ability since it's directional and it has nothing to do with where the enemy target is at. Yeah, I mean, face tanking it went much more smoothly. Definitely the way to go. No items off of that one, unfortunately. And let's keep heading on over to the east.
Keep him warm, I hope. Stay warm.
Alright, so we're at a new hub
City's
here.
dangerous nowadays.
The traps we set up in the field require routine maintenance checks. Some of them are fairly old and will spring at incorrect times. If only we can get more funding for these sort of supplies. While you're out hunting, could you reset any sprung traps you find?
Steer clear.
So
of
it's just a hunting lodge. Okay.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
A grizzly end. This lodge serves as the largest supplier of furs and leather to Borealis. And as its proprietor, it is my duty to ensure every request is met on time. With recent delays, I've decided to take a trip out here to see if the Holtons need my assistance. We could use any available hands. Take this knife and bring back some pelts from the beast nearby. He wants us to get to work for him as a skinner. You know, we are just a secretary passing through on Alliance business, and he wants us just to do some work. And we probably need the money because we probably don't make a lot of money besides board, room and board probably. So it makes sense that we would do these things, yeah.
Best of luck.
Wanted old Frostclaw and a sweater for Rupert. Alright, we have lots of side quests to do. Let's grab the flight point. I love doing the side quests because the side quests remind me, obviously, more of like classic WoW questing. And I'm fine just doing a bunch of side quests until we're out of side quests, and then we'll continue with the main story stuff, and we'll just keep kind of doing it that way. So we need like everything probably. If we just go out into the field here, we probably need every single thing we can click on or target. Which is a good place to be at. I don't really have any AoEs, otherwise I would maybe pull more than one at a time, but I feel like we made this mountain doe angry, and I didn't mean to do that. I think so many of my spells have passive AoE that I end up hitting like non-aggressive enemies. I've even angered this red squirrel. Oh my god, I'm just a murderer. Yeah, I must have some just passive AoE firing off into the world, you know, like... Random critters beware, we are going to end up killing you on accident. And then what are we skinning? Are we skinning anything? You have no target. I do have a target, maybe it's not an appropriate target. Oh, it's the grizzlies we're skinning. Okay, I see it now. I thought they'd be happy with any skins, but no, they want the grizzly skins. Did we freeze the raccoon? I don't think so. I will say mana does not seem to be anything that we have to think about. Which, for leveling up, you know, it's fun that way because we don't have to stop. But I wonder, is it that way in raids, and does it continue to be that way into the Dragonflight expansion itself, or is there going to come a time when we run out of mana and, like, you know, have to refill it? Just an honest question. I don't even care what the answer is. You guys who play mages in Dragonflight, in endgame stuff, like, do you run out of mana, or is mana just not really an issue and it's about your global cooldowns and getting your rotation right and stuff like that? Because I don't know, the last time I played a mage in a raid would have been the Frostfire spec at the beginning of Wrath, original Wrath, obviously, since we didn't get that patch. In Classic, they went right to 3.3, right? Frostfire, I think, was only really viable in the first patch of the expansion. But yeah, that was the last time I played a mage. Obviously, mana was still an issue then. We need to be using the knife on their bodies, we're not just looting them. Alright, that's enough of the grizzlies. So now we're springing the traps, or resetting the springs on the traps, rather. We need the quill rat. Sturdy quills. We haven't gotten any of those yet, actually. We've killed a few of the guys, so not 100% drop rates. I will say this, I mean, the world, as we go through the world here in Battle for Azeroth at least, feels full of danger. We are constantly aggroing stuff that we don't intend to. There's lots of enemies all over the place. And we've died. We've died so many times. I mean, there's probably stuff we could do to survive. But it really doesn't feel that way. It really doesn't feel that way. We might live through this one. Let's see if our shield holds out. I mean, we're bound to aggro something else. Whew. Okay. Let's try to eat and drink to full. Yeah, I mean, so far retail feels much more dangerous than a lot of what happens in Classic. Could just be like the smaller stages. You know how everything just is kind of pushed together and crunched together? It doesn't feel as open as some of the Classic zones. And there's a lot of enemies per square foot. And I think the other problem is, like I said, a lot of our abilities seem to have just random AoE effects that strike other enemies around them. And that's not really what you want most of the time. Let's turn in this quest up here and just see if it changes in anything that will get us level 15. Also, we can probably spend a talent point. Maybe we can get Blizzard.
Today. Carry on strong. Stay warm.
Yeah, see, it does want us to get Blizzard. Let's get Blizzard because I feel like if we could freeze a bunch of guys together and we actually had a spell to deal AoE damage, then we can actually deal with some of these accidental pulls and these bigger groups. Was he aggressive and I missed it? Because I just thought it was a bird flying around that was like non-aggressive, and I guess he's aggressive. We're also looking for hawk eggs. It's good to know, seeing as how those are the first hawk eggs that I've seen. It looks like it's a smaller area here to find these in. We've got patrolling midland stags, which are going to give us a hard time. The birds themselves are not going to like that we're taking their eggs, I don't think. Okay, guys, you probably knew that what I didn't know is that Blizzard is no longer a channeled ability, but a template that you lay down. Which is interesting. It's probably not going to save us here. Because there's not really anywhere to safely blink to that's not going to continue to get us killed. But yeah, it was interesting. Yep, there we go. Death number 3. Luckily, there's spirit healers all over the place to account for the high number of dying. Yeah, it's been really interesting, and I'm pretty sure this is exactly how I felt when we leveled the shaman. We were dying often. We didn't feel super powerful at all. Yeah, we felt like an assistant to the Alliance, someone who's been on a single adventure and now they're here, and everything is super dangerous. It kind of sets the stage for. You know, some kind of compelling immersion in your character, if you think about it that way. Because at this point, you know, your character is not somebody who has fought off the Legion multiple times. You're not somebody who killed the Lich King. If you created this character, you went through Exile's Reach. You are fresh off the boat, literally. And here, you're not really framed as some great hero accompanying Jaina. You are literally just an assistant who's tagging along to get some experience under your belt. And then all this stuff happens, and you're thrust into all the conflict. Alright, let's see, we just need hawk eggs now. Okay, that's everything.
Have anything ancient to trade? Needs to be at least 2 centuries old. To what do I owe the pleasure? Keep calm and carry on.
Keep him warm, I hope. Carry on strong. Steer clear of dark alleys.
While I'm loath to involve you in this further, I don't have the men to afford an escort for Lord Kennings. If he gets hurt, we'll all be out of a job. Can you make sure he at least makes it to the West Camp?
Carry on strong.
That's not an escort quest, strangely. It's just a go find him quest. Let's go find old Frostclaw first, since it turns into her. What's also interesting is that even though it's not super busy in these zones, we are running into other players. And that's always nice.
City's dangerous nowadays. Steer clear of dark alleys.
Charmed, I'm sure. See to your affairs.
This is the closest I've been to a dead body. How exciting. What do you think murdered him? Regardless, it is my duty to ensure the safety of individuals under my employ. With a combination of my wit and bravery and your practical skills, we should be able to track it down. This will be a tale for the ages. Let's start with looking around the camp, see if you can find any clues.
Best of luck.
Crate of foodstuffs has been crushed by blunt force. Most of its contents have been flattened in the process. This trap appears to have been set up to deter wildlife from entering the camp. Whatever set it off was large enough to break the trigger. Some fur from the attacker is stuck in the jaws. Oh, meat. A pool of dry blood marks the start of a trail of crushed undergrowth. Something heavy and bleeding was dragged to the west of the camp. Wonderful.
Any rumors on the wind there? See to your affairs.
From the state of this body, I would say a beast with formidable claws or fangs ravaged this camp. You say the trail leads westward? This camp usually houses more than one of Alana's hunters. I wonder if they are tracking the beast down as well. Oh, he's with us now.
I owe the pleasure?
And in case of emergency, the cliffs here are well known for the crystal clear ice which forms at their base. And even more so for the elementals that are responsible for such. The hunters in my lodge use shards from the primal bodies to keep their stock frozen for transport. More importantly, think of how useful it could be for making and serving drinks.
Steady on ahead.
He wants us to collect ice for his cocktails or something. I don't know how I feel about this, but we are just an assistant. So we will do what we need to do for the money and experience.
Any rumors on the wind?
Let's take a look here at our talent points. It wants us to take invisibility. We're going to need remove curse, I think. We're going to have to go down this route, possibly. Cooldown on Ice Block is reduced. Spell Steal. Or gain a shield that absorbs 3% of your maximum health for 15 seconds after you blink. That could be nice. Let's take invisibility like it wants. We'll take it for the basic build.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. Keep calm and carry on. Charmed, I'm sure.
Wind's howling today. Stay warm.
And that looks like it's it for these guys here. That's actually perfect timing because I am going to take a break for today, guys. I'm having a lot of fun on the Human Mage here in retail. It's been a real blast. I really like some of the changes from the Mage that I used to know to today's Mage. And it's been a really good time. I love the music, and the ambience of BFA is always enjoyable. Hope you guys are enjoying things as well. Let me know what you do think. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, take care of yourselves out there in the real world and take care of each other. And we'll see you back here again very soon. Bye for now.